Before you throw out that router because you're struggling with internet connection, it's causing all these issues that you just can't seem to figure out, you might want to check this one feature you might have overlooked, and it's called Smart Connect. Smart Connect is a feature on most modern routers that takes the Wi-Fi frequencies that we know most, which is 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, and sometimes 6 gigahertz if it's supported, and puts them all under one Wi-Fi network name or SSID. And it allows negotiation between the devices that you're connected to and the router to kind of decide which frequency works best. And while it sounds like a great idea, I have noticed that this definitely can cause some issues. For one, I found that most smartphones, laptops, and streaming devices tend to have problems with Smart Connect and being able to switch between all these frequencies sort of at a whim. I've noticed this in Apple devices like my MacBook Pro and also on Apple iPhones. I've noticed this happen on streaming devices, things like the Google Chromecast with Google TV. I've seen it with my PS5 as well, where it just kind of struggles and you get these weird issues where connection is either intermittent or like the speeds kind of slow down a little bit, or it connects and you have no internet or nothing sort of happens. It's crazy and maddening because it can happen very randomly on devices, and one device can be fine while another device has all these issues and vice versa. It's sort of this crazy thing that's been going on. Now, the solution I found to all this is disabling Smart Connect. You can find it pretty much in your router configuration on that page, and it can vary from different devices. So you definitely want to check the instruction manual and the guide for your particular router or gateway to kind of see where this is. Go ahead and disable things off. And when you do this, it's most likely going to give you an option to kind of split these networks out between 2.4, 5 gigahertz, something even 6 gigahertz, depending upon what your router or gateway supports. Now, typically what I would recommend is your 2.5 gigahertz, you definitely want to have enabled. It gives you the farthest reach possible. It does have the slowest speeds, but it's not like super slow or anything like that. It's going to be good for majority of everything that you have, and all your devices should support and be compatible with it. And you might run into some interference issues depending upon where you live. So that's why you might want to have the 5 gigahertz network enabled as well too, which has faster speeds, but a shorter distance and not much in terms of penetration in terms of how to put things, how to go through walls and stuff. So you might want to have that enabled. I have my Chromecast with Google TVs on the 5 gigahertz network, and those have been working really well for me. You also might have Wi-Fi 6. You'll notice that Wi-Fi 6E, you might want to have that separate, like that 6 gigahertz network. That has the shortest distance, but the fastest speed. The closer you're going to get to like plugging directly in. I have a couple of Wi-Fi 6E devices, specifically my phone, my S23 Ultra, and you can see the speeds on there are really fast, but because it has 6E. But definitely try separating these out and using it in this way, and I bet you will see some performance improvements pretty much right away. Now, there are instances where I ran into where some devices don't have Smart Connect as an option. It only allows you to mesh everything together into one network ID. I recently ran into this when I was testing out a Google Nest Wi-Fi, I think the Wi-Fi 6 Pro edition, and I love the simple interface that it had, but it didn't have the ability to kind of make different networks. I may have it now, it's been a little while since I've used it, but when I was using it, it did not have the ability to kind of turn off the Smart Connect feature to have separate 2.5 and 5 gigahertz networks on it. And it just continued to kind of have these problems. So there may be a situation that you kind of have to maybe purchase something new that gives you this ability to kind of keep things better. I know it's a little bit of a bummer, but that's something you may want to explore. I'll leave a link in the description to what I have. Fair warning, it's not a cheap device. I just want to make that very clear, but I want to tell you what works for me if you are looking for something, and there's usually lower cost options available as well. I'll put one for my router and then a mesh network I use as well too, and kind of base your decision based upon that. Hopefully that will kind of help you get a better internet connection and better consistent speeds. Now, give all those other options a try before buying anything new. And if you do have something new and you're still not seeing these improvements, you might want to check how healthy your internet is. And that is what I'll talk about in this video right here, where we take a look at the broadband nutrition labels, compare it to what we're paying for in terms of our internet service plan to make sure we're getting what we're supposed to be getting, what our expectations are supposed to be, and some tips in case you're not getting what you expect to try to get a little bit better. So check that out in this video here, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.